As this season gets going, what kind of response do we get from the players after an uneven first half that sees them lead by 2?
Yeah, Pace just came out and played with higher energy. They competed at a higher level. Cuse has to do a better job of executing the half court, but they got to be able to turn their defense into offense.
This foul will give Pace an opportunity to head to the line and tie the game again. First personal on Kings. Kings did not score in the opening half. Jabari Nurse did. He was the leading scorer for the Senators with 10.
And Matt, what I really like about what Pace did is they're not coming out in the second half and settling for long three-point shots. They're attacking. They're trying to get to the rim. Opportunity to make 2 free throws.
Nurse on the all-defensive team in the NE10 last year, also academic all-conference. Drains a couple. 4-year starter for Pace, and the game is tied again at 29. Let's check in with Sean, who caught up with Coach Healing on his way out of the locker room.
Yeah, Matt, Coach Healing told me that he loved the intensity and togetherness that his team displayed in the first half. He wants to see them improve their discipline in the second half, limit the turnovers, and limit the fouls committed.
Points off turnovers in that first half, Syracuse had 11. And now to the line, Donnie Freeman, who is the Orange's leading scorer in the opening half. Freeman's interesting to watch, right? He's so gifted. We're watching his maturation. Again, this is a guy that played really only a handful of games last year, 14 games. And a lot of things are happening for the first time, but he's improved his physical gifts. He might have gotten bigger and stronger since last year in his time out.
And I think a big thing for him is you don't want to settle. You are so talented and you are so physically gifted and athletic. Why settle for a jump shot? Why not get to the rim, get to the free throw line, and then they have to play off you a little bit, and then you'll have an opportunity for jump shots.
Jayden James still in the first minute of the second half, and Pace has the lead. Two-man game on the left side. Freeman stymied, but works his way in. Couldn't finish. For 3 out front, Nurse just grazes the iron. George looking ahead to Freeman, who was back. And the attempt to Kyle is broken up.
And just way too lackadaisical, nonchalant. Just don't. You see Pace, they're ready to play. They're getting after every single basketball. They're attacking.
The passes could be a little crisper, huh?
You see right here, Donnie, he was cherry picking and he didn't even get back on D, but a lackadaisical pass right there. I don't care what division you're playing against. You have to be ready to compete at a high level, else these other teams will take advantage of that, of you guys not.
Starling off the George feed, draws a foul. And JJ, so good at that. We saw for years here, Judah Mintz, before that Tyus battle, a couple of the players, the very best around and getting to the line. JJ's not a spectacular foul shooter, but does have the ability to get to the stripe and pick up some easy ones that way.
He's an outstanding straight line driver to the rim. And when you're going to drive the basketball, drive it into the teeth of the defense. Don't go sideways, back and forth. You want to go right to the rim. If you don't get an opportunity to finish, most likely you're going to get fouled, have an opportunity for 2 shots at the line.
Kansas' first free throw attempt of the night, 7 points for Starling. Now he looks to put the Orange in the lead.
Here we go.
Starling last year with that hand injury missed a great deal of the season. Really, the season got derailed quite a bit when he was unavailable. Can't connect on the second free throw. And away it comes to the Setters in a game that is still tied 90 seconds into the second half.
Syracuse can't wait to make a shot over here in the offensive end to get high intensity on the defensive side of the ball. They got to have that throughout the whole game.
Davidson's knuckleball off the window is down, and Pace is in front too. The Syracuse fans are still standing and clapping because the Orange don't yet have a field goal since halftime. How about one from Kyle? Not going to miss that. William Kyle ties the game at 33. Shot 70% last year for the UCLA Bruins, and that's how you do that. close to the rim.
They got to focus out here on the defensive side of the ball. Paxton just walked to the rim that last possession for a layup.
3 out, 2 in for the Setters. Nurse on the drive. Wow, got right around Kings and laid it in. That is a concerning basket. 14 for Nurse to lead all scorers.
So where was the weak side defense? Everybody was standing on the weak side. They didn't come over and rotate.
Kyle, good pass inside. And the righty hammer.
The one thing I do like is I like seeing the big-to-big passing, and they've done a good job so far in this game.
At first I was going to say, why do you give it to, there's maybe a 10. It is a 10-second count. Really forced by one man. Kind of a coverage sack. There was nobody open down the court, and Paxton Davidson locked up by J.J. Starling. Back to the basket. At first I was thinking, well, why give it to Kyle in that situation? But if Kyle sees one more pass and sets up Freeman, you're in good shape.
And the coaches
now
have
Starling
talked
out
about,
and Bryce Zephyr in.
They've talked about Kyle being a good passer, a good interior passer, and he's shown it today, him and Freeman.
Kyle now on the perimeter for the handoff back to the regular point guard, Nathan George, playing with Bryce Zephyr. 10 on the time. Going into Sadiq on the bounce pass, broke it up. Again, Pace gets more to the ball and to the rim. And a foul against the Orange's Zephyr.
And Matt, I love Nathan George's game. But today he hasn't been making the best decisions at all. Just a step slow, just a second behind on his decision making. And it'll get better as the season goes along. He'll start to feel his guys out a little bit more.
Nathan's from Toronto. Maybe he's like the rest of us that stayed up until 3 in the morning watching the World Series the other night. Still kind of sleep deprived, paying for that one.
Now, are you cheering for anyone in particular? Or
not really. Just like to see the good games. Game 5 underway as we speak, but the Jays have earned a return trip to the Rogers Center. It was a little unusual there with the working the sub through the free throw and all that. 37-35 with Pace in front. Kyle able to take the ball from quite a distance away and get to the rim for a deuce. Half dozen points for Kyle.
And let's be honest, you're probably not going to see that a whole lot during the season, but if he has the opportunity to just turn and go to the rim, you got to be able to take advantage.
George shows, but the path to the basket for Keeley, he just can't convert. Kyle the rebound. Kyan Anthony might be a spark here in the second half. George on the dropped off to Sadiq. Freshman to freshman. On the return pass, it's intercepted. Orange are maybe a little indecisive on the offensive end.
Well, they don't have a great spacing on in the half court.
For 3 and the lead, it's good. Ethan Robertson's first points of the day. Averaged 16 a year ago at Mercy in Division II.
Matt, we've seen it before. Once you get into that late into that second half, all the jitters are gone for this team. They're ready to go out here and play.
They don't have any answer for Kyle, who's big and athletic at 6'9". And again, the Orange have bigger, faster, stronger at every position, but Pace has played a more buttoned-up game. Davidson, quick release, and he's got it. Another 3, this time Paxton Davidson, second of the day. 10 points for the transfer from the Citadel. Five minutes gone in the second half. They're warming up, getting better shots at the cup, and William Kyle's got another off the feed from George.
And that's more like it with Nathan George. Get a little bit deeper into the teeth of that paint, and now you can draw the defense. Great job seeing Kyle for the lob.
Davidson very patient on the ball. Keeley got success, 24 wins last year, 20 or more wins 3 of the past 4 seasons. And again, that is with plenty of roster turnover, but just to give you the idea of what the expectation level is at Pace, it is significant. The Orange infamously lost here years ago to Lemoyne. Pace has led for more of this game than Syracuse has to this point.
Well, and I guess it gives you hope because that team who lost to Lemoyne ended up being the #1 team in the country. So it was
34-3.
Yeah.
J.J. Starling with the shot clock down to 5. Now it's Freeman back to George. Bottled up. Cayenne at the horn. Got a foul. That is a terrible foul for Pace's Jayden James. And Cayenne will go to the line with 3 free throws, and maybe that's how the Orange get the lead back.
And really a bailout for Syracuse because they're down in the shot clock. 1 second on the shot clock, you're shooting a shot like that. I'm letting the guys shoot. But Pace has been the better team for a majority of this game. And it shows in the stats. They're leading the rebounds 19-13. They're just being more aggressive. They're playing at a higher level right now.
Cayenne bricks the first. I think we're all kind of a little anxious here. You want to see a sense of urgency here. Like, when is the switch going to get flipped? Second free throw is spit out by the rim. So the Orange won't have the lead after this trip to the line. Starling back and Nathan George to the bench. So now you look at Cayenne maybe being the primary ball handler in this configuration, maybe second to Starling.
Well, here's the thing, too, man. It's not so much about the X's and O's. It's about how high they're competing, their energy level. Like, that's what's concerning to me. You're out there lackadaisical.
Cayenne's made just 2 of 5 free throw attempts in this game. Jabari Nurse muscles his way in. Soleil got in too deep, and the Orange have a chance on the counter strike. Freeman in the paint. Oh! To the top, he missed. But Sadiq did not. He knows his way around the rim. Sadiq White's got 8, all right at the iron.
I mean, he's the one guy that we take from this Syracuse team right now at this game that's been playing with high energy and high activity. He's been flying around everywhere on both ends.
Nurse on the drive, pull up 14-footer is good over Betsy. Jabari Nurse, 16 points. Had a career high 21 last year in February against Southern New Hampshire. But last year, Jayden Keeley was more of a scoring threat for them, and then Trey Alexander on the bench even more so. Driving the baseline, top take there for Donnie Freeman.
And these refs are letting them play. I mean, it's exhibition, but they're letting them play. It's a physical game. Syracuse has to step up to that physicality. They're a much bigger, more athletic team. They got to show it.
I think maybe some of the lax feeling in this one is that Syracuse knows, right? They know that at last resort, Donnie, Sadiq, William Kyle, they can just get to the basket and play over the heads of these teams, as we've seen historically Syracuse playing Division II teams. But so we're confident that Syracuse is going to win this game, but it's there's going to be a lot to go back to the drawing board about.
And I get that part, but why wouldn't I just show it? Why would I, every single possession down the floor, I'm pushing it to the rim. I'm getting up and pressuring the ball.
Freeman in the open floor. Again, this is Cayenne kind of looking for that ball handler out top. And Starling is there with half the shot clock left. Freeman to Betsy. Too strong, and Sadiq White is called. No, he drew the foul, says Clarence Armstrong, so it'll stay at this end. Jayden Keeley picks up the personal for Pace, his third.
And the thing about White is scary is he's getting all of this just off his energy. Like, it's scary how good this kid can be. Skill-wise, he's still going to improve. Offensively, he's still going to improve, but he's making an impact just by flying around and having high energy out there.
Hey, stop fucking walking!
There you go. Appreciate his checking in on our mic underneath the basket to demonstrate some of that energy. Trying to maybe get a shot for Betsy here, who knocked down all 3 of his three-point attempts against Buffalo on Saturday. Starling to Cayenne Anthony. Takes a spill, missed the shot. Starling's got this one. Now Sadiq White down into Freeman, who pays it off again. Donnie Freeman working hard for that deuce. He's got 18 to lead all scorers.
And that's what you got to do. Get the ball, keep it high, and finish it right at the rim.
Soleil picks it up in no man's land. White out on him. Again, the length that Syracuse can offer defensively should be an asset if the Orange continue to play with the right energy. Davidson, good seal down in deep for Keeley, and he brings the ball over the top of Freeman.
And Matt, what I'm really impressed by Pace is there's going to be adversity in the basketball games, right? Syracuse comes down, scores a basket. Pace comes back, aggressive at the rim, scores the basket. They're not backing down, regardless of what happens on that.
Cayenne on the continuation, score the goal. You think he had any knack for operating in traffic right there? Mello certainly knows that. Come out, this is what we do. I want to hear you yelling back the commands, talking to your teammates. And typically in practice, you know, there's music going. He wanted the music cut so he could hear the team echoing the commands and encouraging one another. Another miss at the line for Cayenne Anthony. The Orange lead remains 3. Kyle not afraid to play well away from the basket, huh, on both ends of the floor.
Well, you just see the ability, White and Kyle switch, and they're both guards and able to keep them in front.
Yeah, Davidson has to put one to the roof and still comes up short, but Jabari Nurse has a knack. He gets the rebound and putback. He's got 18 to lead the setters, even with Freeman for game-high scoring honors.
That's the 7th offensive rebound for Pace.
Love Sadiq White standing up off the bench and still bringing energy from that spot. He's in the game, but he's near the bench and just kind of lurking. Betsy with 5 on the timer. There's White, left-handed three-point drive. Paid off. They used every second of the shot clock. And it's in the ACC. Cuse by 4 as we head into the final quarter. Paxton Davidson settled down after a rocky start. Soleil loses the handle, but it comes right to Keeley, who gets roofed, and Davidson tracks it down. Shot clock did not reset. Keeley leans in, got it knocked out of his hands by Sadiq White. Active hands there defensively. George ahead of the field to Cayenne Anthony. Got it all the way around the horn there. We haven't said that very often. On the drive, too hot to handle for Kyle. Shot clock at 7. Tough one for George. Does draw the foul though. Personal on Jabari Nurse will get George to the line.
Yeah, really just another bailout. That was the 2nd time Pace bailed him out, following him on a bad shot. But how many times have we seen Syracuse this game have to get a shot up with 3 seconds or less on the shot clock?
I think in time, that's where you have to figure George improves. He's here to be a facilitator. Averaged 6.5 assists per game last year for Georgia Tech. Pure is the first free throw on this trip. In the game at the Dome last year between Syracuse and Georgia Tech, the Orange won. George had 13 points and a team high 5 assists, was just 1 of 7 shooting from 3-point range. I don't know if he's going to have a lot of games for Syracuse where he's shooting 7 threes.
Right, and he's, like I said early on, he's filling himself out, he's filling his teammates out. He's going to get better. He's proven, right? He led the ACC last year in assists. He's an improved shooter. He's an improved scorer. He's one of the best decision makers in the country. You don't want to judge him on this game right here, but you do want to see him play a more well-rounded game and you know, make better decisions.
These are his first points of the game as he hits all 3. Keep in mind that last year at this time in the exhibition, we were ready to put Jaquan Carlos into the Hall of Fame, and that didn't follow up so well. So that gives you what you can go on from these games. On the press break, from behind, George recovers and is astonished at the foul call. Right into your living room on this one.
Pace is just doing a good job of attacking the rim. The initial defense, they're getting by, and then they're attacking the basket. They're just keeping it simple.
Orange have their biggest lead of the game right now, kind of piecing it together to be in front 7 with 9 minutes to go. Pace's Ethan Robertson looking to claw into that. His shot runs the rim. It's important for the Robertson twins to play together in college. Last year at Mercy, they both averaged some 16 points per game as Ethan switches the second free throw. Allows them to put the pressure on, and it's beaten by the Orange. White to Betsy. Too strong, nobody there to rebound it. Those long rebounds have been going to Pace. Davidson calls his own number. Kyle the rebound. George has the ball in the string. What's his plan? Left-handed jumper, ring it up. Second long-range hit for Sadiq White. He's got 2 triples and 14 points.
And Nate George, he's playing too much with the ball. You just got to go ahead and make a decision and hit the open man.
That was a tight quarter shot by White on the near side with the defender right there. He's made 2 threes in the last couple of minutes. And on the discard thrown to nobody in particular, it is a Pace turnover. In that shooter role, Betsy out, Kings in. Donnie Freeman back replacing White.
I'll tell you what, if White's able to knock down that, he's not going to be here very long.
Yeah, that would be the complete package if he can do the things he's doing around the rim and be a threat from long range. Ibrahim Soiree goes by Nakir here at Syracuse. Sent in, replacing William Kyle.
And I liked Nakir last year at Georgia Tech. I mean, he has obviously played with Nate George last year, but he's just an athletic, versatile guy around the rim, block shots.
Too high there. The Orange benefit as it gets into the front court for Kings. On the drive right to the basket for the lefty finish and his first points.
Oh, that's more like it. How about just put your head down, get to the basket, and use your strength and go up?
Orange have widened the lead. Starting to get some easier points now. Building an 11-point cushion.
You don't always want to have to play against a set defense in the half court. And Syracuse has a team made up where they can get up and down in transition and get those easy shots.
Line drive there from Nurse, and Syracuse had it covered on their rebound. Donnie Freeman will get credit for this one. Anthony wheeling in the paint.
To a professional under his belt playing in Australia, and that's a grown man's league. It's one of the top leagues in the world, so he has some experience playing at a high level.
What's your average, about 50?
In Australia? I played in Australia.
I know you did. That's why I asked you that.
No, 18.
18.
Close, though.
But the conversion rate, though, is
yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
So right when
is that on the metric system?
Right when I got over there, the steering wheel's on the other side. Yeah. I'm like, what is going on? Here you go. Here's the keys. All right.
Luke sporting that Poetry in Moten shooting shirt. Those things are sweet. Rest in peace, Lawrence Moten, one of the all-time greats. We miss seeing his smile here at the JMA Wireless Dome, and great to see that the Orange will keep him in their memory that way.
He definitely would have been here.
For sure. He's always excited at the start of the year. All right, see what they've got here in the half court. Fade away for Kings, one-legged shot. Freeman, does he run it down? Not quite.
Oh, Matt, that's not it. Dribble behind the back spin, step back. That's not what you want.
Up the elevator, and it's blocked by Soiree, starting the break the other way. Kings to a running Starling. Side, and Donnie pays it off. Donnie gets to the 20-point plateau with a yell.
And I think Donnie has been hearing us throughout this broadcast. He's not settling. He's getting to the rim. He's being aggressive.
Transition game. George takes it right to the contact. Did not get a foul call.
Probably should have.
It's a 15-1 run for the Orange. Close to 3 minutes since Pace has scored. So now the Orange are feeling a little enthusiasm, getting the adrenaline going. And we'll see Akir Soiree going up.
Yeah, this is what Akir brings to the table. He's athletic, he's active around the rim, and we talked about Donnie being aggressive at the rim. for his 20th point. That's what he has to do. Set the tone inside. You'll get those three-point shots all day.
The Orange led by 2 at the half, currently 13. They push out on George. A lot of pressure on George to kind of create for others. Calls his own number here. Soiree in too deep this time. Freeman a crafty play in the corner. And the Orange keep possession with close to a full shot clock.
And Matt, you make a good point right there. You don't want to try to put so much pressure on George to make every single play. JJ is capable of getting in the lane and kicking it out. That's an easy decision to make. You don't want to put so much pressure on George and have him to make every single play, every single possession down the floor.
George, the trigger man here on baseline out of bounds. In Soiree, you have basically a non-scorer going to lurk under the rim with the other 4 going to work. Freeman, tough shot. Soiree had a chance to get it back for him, could not squeeze it, and an empty trip there.
Your last 4 or 5 possessions, you just got at the rim, and now you go there and settle for that. Keep going on what's working for you.
Jabari Nurse has been working for pace. Team high 18 points. And that one on its way out of bounds from Ethan Robertson. 5-minute stretch coming up here. Be really interesting to see. This is where Syracuse has been prone to the lulls where it kind of goes the other way. In this case, they have built the lead up. They built the lead to 14 against Buffalo, gave it back mostly to 4 points, ended up winning by 10. Does Syracuse win this game by 5 or 6 or by 25, right? Right now it's 15.
These last 3 or 4 minutes, you've seen the intensity pick up. You don't have to do anything special. Just keep that intensity where it's at right now for these last 5 minutes.
Bryce Zephyr in with J.J. Starling and Nate Kings in the backcourt. Soiree and Freeman up front. Freeman has had the hot hand. And a fadeaway finds the bottom.
Well, there you go. Matt, we know a little bit of what we're talking about. Get the ball around the rim, and I'm not mad at that fadeaway. You're close to the rim. You're 8 feet away. You can make that shot all day.
Zephyr figures to be a tough blue-collar defensive player, so he goes out to put pressure on the ball handler Davidson, and that pace goes to a zone press here. On the return to Freeman, the inbounder, he is fouled. Late in the game, we'll be watching that. The Orange right now have some players that might be a little concerned about going to the line. The bigs won't probably be in the game at that point. Freeman, pretty good foul shooter. Figure he and Kings will be the best of what's on the floor right now.
Man, usually in these games, talent always ends up winning, right? It always ends up showing. But you don't want to rely on that. You want to get ready for the opener against Binghamton and then go into Vegas versus Houston and Kansas. Talent's not going to win those games.
Particularly Houston, who has good players, but grinds like no other program. Great play there by Soiree. You could hear his hand slap against the ball on the steal. Up ahead for a Kings 3.
That's what we've been waiting for from Nate Kings right there. That's what he's been recruited to come to Syracuse to do, knock down an open 3.
Shot about 45% from three-point range at Oregon State last year. Highly sought after in the transfer market. Davidson weaving through. Didn't have the finish. Nathan Farrell wants a little help from the officials. They did see a deflection. Clarence Armstrong did at least. So out of bounds. Sean.
Yeah, Matt, it's our first look here in Syracuse at the new challenge rule in college basketball. And that player was practically mandated by the players on the court. They walked over to the bench and were giving Coach Red the finger up in the air, swirling around, review that one. And this time, they were right.
I don't know if you want to be the player that convinces the coach to challenge and you were wrong, because lose, obviously, the ability to challenge and a timeout in that scenario. Kings on the drive along the baseline, and the Orange are pulling away, now leading by 22.
It'd be cool if they had like a flag, Red had a flag in his pocket, throw that thing on the court.
What could possibly go wrong?
Right, yeah.
Bank shot by Keeley, 9 points for him for the Setters, and a 20-point game. I have a feeling that Eric Dievendorf as a player would have very liberally jumped in and ruled for a challenge if it was up to him.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely.
It has been 16 consecutive points by the Orange. Freeman looking to get back in the scoring column. Soiree keeps it alive. New shot clock for Zephyr. Orange have not shot as well from three-point range in this game as they did in the first exhibition Saturday, Buffalo, in the very chilly KeyBank Center. Back at it here Monday against Binghamton, Saturday against Delaware State. Fadeaway shot is good for Jabari Nurse. He's had himself a night with 20 points for pace, and then looming back near the basket is Akir Soiree. Reach in right away off the inbound, foul on Jaden James, his third. So with pace in the penalty, free throws at the other end for the Cuse.
And Matt, this is probably not the lineup you're going to see closing out most of the games for Syracuse this season. You'll probably see George in there, and you'll probably see Kyle in there.
Right. Kyle instead of Soiree, George instead of Zephyr. The Orange have not distinguished themselves in free throw shooting just yet, making less than 60% of this game. Second does connect for Kings. Pace with Nurse to Davidson. Gets quite a bit of arc under it, unable to connect, and the ball knocked out late.
It'd be interesting to see how often that's used this year.
Well, I don't think you want to end the game with one in your pocket if it comes down to something here. I mean, shoot, they're challenging here in a 19-point game. Nurse on the miss, and the ricochet knocked off of pace out of bounds back to the Orange. We're in the final 2 minutes. That pass beyond the reach of Starling, and that just really can't happen. It's a turnover, and then a 6'3" player goes right by Freeman and lays it in.
Well, first of all, they're going in the deep corner and getting double teamed, and now the pass they have to throw is up and high and slow. Pace can get to that easy.
So the Orange will have plenty to work on. They're going to win this game comfortably. But back to the gym after this. Pretty spin move and a lefty finish by Nate Kings. That one broke it up. Akir with a stare after the play. Freeman on the open floor. Starling gets a trip to the line. Fouls on Davidson. Davidson's kind of the MVP runner-up for pace behind Jabari Nurse, who's been their leading scorer. Davidson a rough start, but has controlled the game nicely. And Kings not just a three-point shooter.
And I like Kings. He presses up, he plays hard on the defensive side of the ball. He's come here as a three-point shooter, but he's shown today that he can put the ball on the deck.
J.J. Starling, preseason all-conference caliber player. Still has that hits at the line. Will work his way through that. Very interesting senior season ahead for the nearby Baldwinsville native. Because this is what you do it for, right? You build up to be at your best in your senior year to compete for championships. And Starling's going to need to do his part in conjunction with his teammates. Ugly free throw shooting night for the Cuse. Freeman's going to leave this one on the ground, and Pace digs it out.
And Matt, it's always interesting to me how guys get that hitch in their shot. You know, especially he came out of high school as a three-point shooter, high level. It's more mental than anything.
Foul on the backdoor cut for Pace, called against Nate Kings. They work on it, but once you're a senior, think of the thousands of shots that J.J. Starling has taken. We're talking about trying to break bad habits. Nurse to Nathan Robertson. These are just sophomores for Pace. David Dix. Tough shot there by Ethan Robertson, loose on the floor. In the game's final minute, Dix on the retreat with Starling out on him. And a foul on the high screen action by Pace. Fouls on J.J. Starling, who is surprised.
Hey, these guys who don't play a lot for Pace, they're trying to get a bucket in the dome.
Sure they are.
They're not going to stop playing.
Bryce Airstock into the game for the first time. Leo Vlagionitis as well. In the paint, jump stop for Promise Oporum, and he gets a trip to the line. Oporum's been set back by a knee injury. You can see the brace on his leg. He was part of that New Hampshire team that opened in the Dome here last year, didn't play. Then played well in the next game and has been slowed since.
My thing is when you have the height advantage right here, just put your hands straight up. No need to reach it. It's an automatic foul every single time. Just bailing the guy out.
Well, not to mention you're in a game now that's decided with just a few seconds left.
Yeah, these people are trying to get out of here.
Wait, you get your car running already or what?
Yeah.
We didn't tell you about the postgame show. Jake Paluzzi into the game had a chance at that rebound for Pace. It ricochets the other way off the free throw miss. And jumping in is Vlagionitis to prevent a breakaway. Now, Oporum exits. Adam Chacha, Buffalo native, into the game for the first time for Pace.
And now when you're looking out on the court, you can really see the difference.
You're dealing with Syracuse scholarship players. Syracuse has 3 starters on the floor. Soiree puts it back behind his head. I'm just going to write this down. I'm ashamed to say this. This is October, what, 29th?
Yeah.
On October 29th, I'm very concerned about this team's free throw shooting.
Yes.
Now, again, your bigs aren't going to have to shoot a lot, I don't think, but there's some guys that really struggle. There's 2 misses in a row. Freeman the rebound, and this should do it here. Final seconds tick off. The exhibition season is over. The Orange have won in Buffalo. They've outlasted Pace here in the Dome, and some work to do still before Syracuse opens the season for real Monday night.
Got to give credit to Pace. Syracuse just played with higher intensity in the second half and overwhelmed Pace to get the win.
Well, still lots to like from